Welcome back, everybody. We're on vacation down here in the beautiful Smoky Mountains. Picked up a brand new Blackstone 28-inch griddle at Walmart. Let's season this baby. Let me know what Blackstone you have. I've cooked on them all over the years. 28, probably my favorite for cooking for a large family on the road because it's big. You can cook for a lot of people, but it's a little easier to move around than the 36 when you're going in and out of vehicles. First things first, you're gonna notice a lot of point of purchase material on the griddle top. Look, we have a Blackstone sticker. Here's a little sheet that talks about the omnivore griddle top. How many square inches of cooking space, 2 heat zones on a 28-inch Blackstone. I recommend removing these labels on the side shelves. I've seen people leave these on before, and then of course when you apply heat later on, it might be harder to get these off, so just peel those off. Oh, what do we have here on the side shelf? Looks like CJ, Betty, Nate, and who's this guy? Who's that guy? Just remove those. And if I can add one thing, I don't think I've ever mentioned this in a video before. These bottom shelves go like this. They're created for the lip to go up so you can put things on them. The label should always be facing the person that's cooking so you can read it. I've been in stores before, Ace, Walmart, etc., where they've flipped this upside down because they want to hide the label, make it look more aesthetically pleasing, but that's wrong and you can't use it. So the lip's always going to go up always so you can store stuff on that bottom shelf. I've actually seen those shelves flipped upside down in catalogs and on website photos for different vendors. I think it's because photographers don't want that label. So always make sure you have it like this with the lip up. Some people like to clean their griddle plate before they cook on it the first time, but it certainly isn't necessary. I'm just gonna use soapy water today. It certainly doesn't hurt. It's not gonna hurt anything. Some people have a process of scrubbing these down or sanding them down. I have never done that and I have never had an issue. So a little bit of soapy water if you want to. Then I'll rinse that off with some water. Make sure we get all the soap off the griddle plate. Now we just fire it up, put the griddle on high, turn the burners on. The water will burn off the griddle plate in a few minutes as the steel heats up. In under 5 minutes, you'll see brown spots already appearing where the burners are. I'm only about 7 minutes in and you can already see the griddle plate darkening up quite nicely. Back in the day, I seasoned my Blackstones with whatever cooking oil I had on hand, but I pretty much use the griddle seasoning and cast iron conditioner these days. It's a proprietary, that's a tough word to say, it's a proprietary blend of coconut oil, beeswax, and soy. Now, as I always tell you, I choose to use my bare hands. I've always used my bare hands. You want to be careful. It is a blazing hot griddle top. You might want to use some tongs or heat resistant gloves. You don't want to burn yourself. The key is you want to go really light layer of oil. You want to oil up the edges inside and outside. Let that layer burn off, and when it stops smoking, we'll apply a second thin layer. Go in for my second layer. I'm reminding you, we want to do really thin layers. It helps the seasoning to adhere better. Sometimes if you put the oil on too thick, it gums up, gets a little messy. After a layer burns off, we go in with the next layer. It's hard to tell you how many layers you need. Usually somewhere between 3 to 5 layers of the seasoning of the oil. Today we're gonna go with 5 layers. That seems to be average for me, probably 5 layers. You can see after the 4th layer, we have pretty good blackening of the steel. Not a bad view today either, huh? My goodness, we live in the Rocky Mountains, but the Smoky Mountains are definitely beautiful. We're having a great time down here, high in the hills above Pigeon Forge. Now it's time for my favorite onion pie.
Onion pie? That sounds disgusting.
One of the comments that I get the most is, hey Todd, I seasoned my griddle. I did 4 or 5 coatings and my pancakes stuck. Or I did 3 or 4 coatings and my French toast stuck. Well, that's because when you do the initial seasoning, your griddle still isn't completely seasoned until you've cooked on it a few times. You want to get all the edges. You want to get everything completely seasoned. I suggest cooking really messy stuff the first couple of times. First 2 or 3 cooks, stuff like stir fry, where you can have pork and noodles and oil, or things like hash browns, where you got potatoes, sausage, bacon, grease flying all over the place. Sometimes I'll dump a bunch of diced potatoes or onions down on the griddle top. I have my avocado oil down with my onion pie. Really helps to get oil into all the corners, and it kind of helps to progress that seasoning. Onions are sauteing, they're looking beautiful. A little more cooking oil. I'm gonna go down with a little bit of onion. I have quite a bit of onions on hand. When I picked up the griddle, picked up onions, and I picked up everything that they had pre-cut in the grocery store. Check this out. It's a tri-pepper mix. Sometimes I'll throw the onions away, other times I'll turn them into a burrito, or today we're gonna make a Tennessee breakfast hash, Southern style. I didn't have time to chop up potatoes on vacation, so down with my potatoes, a little more oil. We're on medium, low, medium, low. The potatoes are cooking. The hash is looking really good. We're gonna move everything over here to the left side. A little more cooking oil. Kentucky, that's the state we just came from. We were in Kentucky for a few days and now we're in Tennessee. Down with my easy peasy Kentucky ham. Look at this, pre-diced. We're not wasting any time this morning. If I can give a recommendation, if you're traveling, if you're on vacation, I don't want to be wasting time an hour prepping food. So diced potatoes ready to go, diced onions ready to go, diced peppers ready to go. You can still do a home cooked meal. You don't need to spend all that time prepping. I love that garlic paste. A little garlic paste in the ham. Fresh garlic, love fresh garlic, use it all the time. But when you're on the road, chopped garlic and cooking oil, easy peasy. I'm traveling and I just found this at the grocery store. Tennessee's best. We're making a Tennessee hash, so it's what we have to use. I'll mix the ham with my potatoes. The oil from the meat will help the potatoes to cook. Woo, looking good. Oh man, I like the colors. Whenever possible, like to use different colors, peppers and onions. Just that contrast is beautiful. Need to go in there for a sneak peek. Hot food off a hot griddle top. Eat at your own risk if you don't have a trained mouth like I do. Cut up some flat leaf parsley. Think we're just about ready to plate this up. I hope you enjoyed this little trick on how to turn the onions into a delicious hash. Let's grab our fresh parsley, sprinkle that on top, and take a look at that. A Tennessee hash, a byproduct of me seasoning my griddle. You can have fun while you're seasoning your Blackstone. First cook in the books, grab your griddle scraper. You see that? Did the initial trick. It's not bad already. You can see we are ready. Look at this. We are fairly non-stick. Look at that spatula sliding around. You would notice the difference if it wasn't. So we're gonna scrape all the food back. Grab a paper towel, again, being careful. It's a very hot griddle top. Gonna get all the crumbs back into the grease cup. And make sure you leave the heat on. You can see we're still hot, hot, hot. We're on low now. I was just on high. I turned it down. Grab that cooking oil, whatever you have on hand. In this case, it's avocado oil. I always like to leave my griddle top. I like to start my cooks and end my cooks with a clean griddle and a very light coating of my cooking oil like that. A brand new, completely seasoned Blackstone griddle and a family-sized bowl of Tennessee breakfast hash. Now that the griddle is seasoned, it's time to give it a try. I'm a big ketchup guy. Born in Pittsburgh, birthplace of Heinz ketchup. So we need to go in there for a big old bite with ketchup. There you go. Seasoning a Blackstone griddle. It's a piece of cake, thin layers of oil. Take my recommendation, you'll be glad you did. Cook really messy stuff the first couple of times. Stir fry, hash browns, just messy stuff that, hey, if you have a lot of ground meat, maybe you're a meal prepper, you have 10 pounds of ground meat, whatever it takes, messy stuff will help you season the entire griddle and you can eat what you cook. So thanks for watching, everybody. I sure do appreciate it. Make sure you're watching all my friends on the Blackstone Network. I'll be sure to get my recipe for a Tennessee breakfast hash at blackstoneproducts.com. Until next time, this is Todd. I'm saying praise the Lord and pass the Tennessee breakfast hash from a completely brand new and perfectly seasoned Blackstone griddle. Good to the last drop, apparently.